like, I don't know, but maybe you should have wore deodorant. I'm like, what?
Right?
Right. Hey, everybody.
Stinky bastard.
Whoa.
That's right.
Here we are.
Crazy
Hey.
Joe here. We got Spooky Dudes and our special guest tonight from the great region of the Texas area. Easy Comic Reader Mike is joining us tonight.
The Iron Claw. The Iron Claw.
The man, the myth, the Legion.
The Legion.
All right. How you guys doing? You guys doing good?
Yeah, man. Doing great. Going to talk about some wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about some wrestling.
Some wrestling.
Some wrestling.
Heck yeah. Yeah, we got Mike here. We invited him on the show tonight because we're going to talk about some wrestling, regional, 60s, 70s, 80s, just wrestling, man. Wrestling. Talk about some of our stories of our favorite matches, and might even show some clips. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We'll start this off here. Tuck, you got anything you want to show?
I got one thing.
All right.
Or I guess two things here.
Let's rock it.
I got some great value American cheese wow.
Nice.
Jeez, wow. Now they're talking, baby.
So got some of that.
Yeah.
And then that's the food item. And then I got DC Compact.
Ooh.
So
Have you read that yet?
I haven't. I read the first couple pages, but
That's good. It's fun.
I really wish they released the DC versus vampires.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to read this though. Tom Taylor. I really like his Nightwing stuff, so excited to get into that. But yeah, that's all I got. So
Okay.
Nice, man.
You just want to get into the wrestling, man. I understand. I understand. All right. Speaking of that, Tuck and I are watching Emily on Mythic Emporium, our LCS up here, and there's some good books coming out this week. Newer books. I'm thinking there's a couple I want. They got that Kryptonian Age, Gotham by Gaslight, the Justice for the Justice League, Old West Justice League story that they got out, which is really good.
Ooh, okay.
And of course, the Event Horizon issue 3, the horror wrestling. We got look at this.
let's go
Wrestling time.
wrestling.
What's
The
up,
man,
Rob?
the myth, the cheap comic collector. Hey, Rob.
What's up, Rob?
Rob and I haven't. No, I don't. Not today. We're
Not
talking about wrestling today. So the so that's going to be an interesting week for the newer comic folks. Just wanted to throw that in there. Looked kind of exciting.
I was looking forward to Scavenger number 2.
Mm-hmm.
I went to my local comic shop on a Saturday, right? I didn't make it to the day. I went out Saturday thinking, I'll be cool. I did get the new Savage Sword of Conan, but
Nice.
they did not have Scavenger issue number 2. And I asked the guy up there, I said, hey, man, what happened with this one? Oh, we didn't order it. I was like, what do you mean you didn't order it? You had number 1. Yeah, we just order number 1s. I said, well, I want number 2.
God, dang it! That looks really good too. That was
It
an
does.
interesting.
Yeah, I'm like I said, when I messaged you about it, I was excited about new comics again. So yeah, I liked it.
That'll happen. That's weird.
Yeah.
A couple of books will come out. And do you have anything you want to show us tonight, Mike? Any stuff? You got any stuff, man?
Yeah, I've got one thing, okay? One thing only, and it's wrestling related. I'll say the real way. I'll say wrestling, right? All right, so before I show this, just understand it's old. It's beat up, and it's not from my childhood, although I wish it was. But I found it in a garage sale one day, and it's a board game, right? So let me tell you my little wrestling background. I'm from Texas. Texas was primarily the Von Erichs, early 80s up through, a little bit past 85, 86, right? So I found this board game, and like I said, it's beat up.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It is beat up, but that is my childhood memories right there. Von Erichs, but I didn't root for the Von Erichs. I rooted for the Freebirds. Okay?
Freebirds.
I love Terry Gordy, Michael Hayes. So there you go. There's a front, and there's an equally damaged back.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing.
This is from 85. Okay. Now, pretty sure it wasn't complete because I was expecting to open it up and find a cool board, right? Because it is a board game. This is what I found on the inside. This is the start of it, right? So I don't know if it's just one of those where you put the little pegs, which I got a couple in here, but you make your moves. But I was like, why all this blank space? Okay. But there's some stuff in here. There's still some, I still salvaged. I was able to get some good things out of it, right? So the first of all, you get these little game pieces, right? And they had these little plastic stands. So there's Kerry Von Erich, right? So that was your, that's what you moved on a game board if it had one, right? And they even give you the back of them, literally the back. So you got a front, right? This shows you how old it is and how cheap this was, because I guess old Fritz Von Erich said, I'm going to capitalize on what I got going here. All right, so there's Kevin. No, Mike Von Erich. I didn't really like Mike Von Erich. I thought he was too weak. Gentleman Chris Adams. My Chris Adams story is I did go to a wrestling show one time, and I waited to the very end, and he came out, and I politely asked him, I said, hey, will you sign my program? He did, and I took a picture with him. So there you go. I wish I still had that picture, man. He's back in it. Gino Hernandez is also in the game. Does anybody remember Gino?
Yes.
Okay, Gino Hernandez. Do you remember the Iceman King Parsons?
Well, of course. Yes.
Do you remember? Okay, Kelly. What's his name? Kelly Kaniski. Do you remember Kelly?
That sounds familiar.
You probably because his dad, Gene Kaniski,
Yes.
wrestled in the '60s, and of course, I guess the star of this show, Kerry Von Erich. Now, if you're wondering, where are the Freebirds? This was, like I said, 85. They were already gone. And you also got, with that, you got the players' cards. And I found it interesting because it also says their likes, what they like to do. And a lot of these guys like to go fishing. Except for Kerry. Kerry said that he liked to go scuba diving. What's up, Ozzy? So so it's just another little stat sheets. Oh, that's what they give you as well. I do have the one-man gang piece, but it's somewhere in a box somewhere.
Ooh.
So there's
That was
one
a big boy.
And check out his stats. He's got speed, experience, strength, and his special move was the body drop. Right. So you got those cards in there. But what I like the most are, and again, I have the rules right here, but I'm not going to read all that. Not yet, because I don't have the game board. So, but you get a set of rules. I got that in there. And you get you get playing cards with them. So this is the headbutt. It's got a little drawing of a headbutt, tells you how many, what you need to roll to get that move. So, one of those kinds of games. So I'll just show you some of the basic cards in the set. The whip into the turnbuckle, right? The kick. These are the basic moves. And then you got your more flashy moves like the body splash. So that's your one-man gang card, one-man gang. You got the, what is this one? The knee drop, right? Doing a little Ric Flair there.
Yeah.
So it's got some of these, off the turnbuckle, things like that. Okay. My favorite cards, my absolute favorite cards are the dirty trick cards. So this one,
guys.
You rake your opponent's eyes. Right? just stuff like that, pulling hair, outside interference, things like that. I thought that was cool. So you get a lot of these trick ones. This one's what does that say? Dirty trick. Oh, you bite your opponent. Do we still see biting in wrestling?
No.
Any current wrestlers that are biting people? I miss those days. Right? Rake to the eyes, your boot to the eyes, stuff like that. Okay. I also pulled out. Okay. So these cards in particular, what I want to know is, are these moves still used today? I believe these are all moves that nobody uses because they're so old, right? So, of course, we're going to start with the toe hold. Is there anyone today using the toe hold?
I do see people still do that. Then they have to tap out.
No, that's more like an ankle lock, right? But this is
yeah.
Well, that's
a
I don't think
toe
they're holding their toe, but yeah, you're right. Okay, so that's that one. All right, what about the full Nelson?
I haven't seen that in years. Do they move forward with that? Is that the full Nelson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time.
It's been since probably, oh God, the name's slipping me now. Putting Tucker in the toe hold later.
No.
Calm down, Ozzy.
Yeah. Who used to do something like that? Ah, dang it. I'll break it. How about the backbreaker?
Oh, Lex Luger used to use that all the time.
The torture rack.
Torture rack, yeah.
But anybody else to use the backbreaker? And these were finishing holds back then. Right?
Yeah.
Some of these. The body scissors.
What the hell?
Yeah, you literally wrap your legs around your opponent's, I guess, midsection, and you squeeze them. Body scissors. Is anybody use this move anymore?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Oh, one of my favorites. The midgets used to do this.
Yep.
The atomic drop.
Yep. Atomic drop.
Or little people. I'm sorry. Little people.
The little wrestlers.
Little wrestlers. The atomic drop. Nobody uses that anymore. Do you see a hammerlock being used?
No.
Okay.
That's on the back. Arm is in the back. No.
Yeah. And you push it up. My dad did that to me one time. I made him mad. How about the flying mare? You grab your opponent by the head and flip him over.
What if CM Punk uses something like that? The street.
Go to sleep? No. Well, speaking of go to sleep, how about the sleeper?
Yeah.
Part of many a wrestler's moveset way back in the day, but does anybody use it today as their finishing move or a move?
Not really. I mean, people still use the move, but they don't use it as a finishing move.
How about the abdominal stretch?
Yeah, I've seen that a few times recently.
Really?
Yeah.
And I don't watch a lot of newer wrestling. Not that anything against it. It's just I don't have cable, so or ESPN to watch all the.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah. How about the? I don't know if I showed this one. The front face lock.
Yeah.
And knowing what I know now about, how this is all fake, this is where the guys would just talk to each other.
Yep.
All right, man. So we're going to do this next, blah, blah, blah.
Either that or it would start someone would juice themselves or whatever to cut themselves. So
the leg drop, of course, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Anyone else use it today? And, of course, being from Texas, we saw this move every weekend.
Iron Claw.
Iron Claw. Right? Does anyone use any variation of Iron Claw?
No.
And I used to get a kick out of the Barnerics when they would do the Iron Claw, of course, on the head, but then they would put it on the stomach. I'm like, really? What is that going to do? But that is what I wanted to show everybody tonight, just an old wrestling game.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
That is my childhood. Saturday nights, KTVT Channel 11 from Dallas, Texas, from 10 o'clock at night to midnight. We were watching wrestling, and as soon as wrestling was over, guess what we were doing? 8 boys in the house. We were throwing down. We got
3 in the morning.
Oh yeah, dude. So yeah, man, that good days, good times, and I'll tell you more stories as soon as we're making another loop over here. All right.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I stopped watching as soon as the ESPN moved because I'm not going to pay that kind of money just to watch 8 hours a month of TV. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
It's kind of expensive.
Oh yeah. I watch the highlights. Why not?
Yeah, me too.
Go to YouTube. It's all there.
And all those moves that you showed,
Yeah.
I don't want to sound too non-PC, but I would let Rhea Ripley do any of those moves to me. She won't.
Heck yeah.
'Cause
Me
she's just kind of a cutie pie, you know.
Oh yeah.
She's kind of I'm gonna punch you in the face and spit on you, but that means I like you, kind of thing.
Oh
You
yeah.
know?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I got a couple of comics I want to show here.
All right.
As you know, I'm big on the Bronze Age horror. Finally, this is a 3-issue run. This eventually turned into a couple of other runs, actually. But DC came out with Ghost Castle,
Ooh.
first issue. Stupid glare.
A big old shroom right there. Look at it.
I know, isn't that? Yeah.
That is cool, man.
It says, "A soul a day keeps the devil away." But this is the issue that I finally picked up that was hard for me to find. Ignore the price tag.
Yeah.
Issue number 2 is a tough one to get, so I got lucky on that one. And then, of course, number 3.
Ghost Castle, baby.
I want to say that this turned into. I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Yeah.
But as you know, I did pick up a huge run of a lot of issues toward my Ghosts run. I'm going to show you guys some of these. Really nothing to do with wrestling, but you know, it's a show about stuff, so I'm going to show some stuff.
There you go.
Here's 41. That and these covers are just freaking rad.
Oh yeah.
Couple of miners having a bad day. True tales of the weird and supernatural. This is a great cover. Cool cover. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Haunted Homecoming. The Phantom Frigate.
What is it about a skull, dude, that we can't resist?
I don't know. I just think they're.
Is it all that heavy metal that we would listen to back in the day?
Eddie Puchaco, maybe. I don't know. It's little Iron Maiden. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's final.
Hmm.
You see, it's final. There's no skin on it. There's no flesh.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be honest. I just think they look wicked badass.
Heck yeah.
As our friend from the Northeast would say, Mr. Dr. Silver Age Rod. Wicked.
That is some cool beans.
It is cool beans. He had a live show today.
Yeah.
Rod did that was kind of fun watching that. We were driving around doing some stuff, but we got 45 listening to it. It's a headless ghost. Worst kind. Got 50. Jump up a little bit.
These are all beauties, man.
So last night we were going through a box of some comics, Mike and Rob and I, Cheap Comic Collector. What do we consider a Christmas? I mean, if that's a wreath, but I mean that could have been just a wreath at a funeral, right? But what do you consider a Christmas cover?
Okay, go back to that one. Does it have a December or November date on it?
Yes.
Oh, that's Christmas to me.
Okay. So if it's December and you got the wreath, that's just their way of, all right.
What about you, Tuck? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean anything with snow. I mean, of course,
There
right?
you go. Yeah,
But
it's time.
yeah, I don't know. Or like a character dressed up like
Santa Claus.
Santa, yeah, like Joker or Batman or Skeleton.
Right.
You know.
It was just something I was going to ask last night when we were going through some books, but I didn't. Henry VIII, I am.
Henry the Eighth, I am. Henry the Eighth, I am.
I've never read a Ghost, one of the DC Ghosts.
Oh, dude.
I'm missing out. These covers, I like how with all these old horror books, the covers are legit the coolest shit ever.
Right.
Like
They
each
are.
one is like a work of art. So
They loved what they. I don't know. I think these books from this time frame, they were more toward the art, don't you think, Mike?
Yeah, because I had spent all last month reading the Charltons. I got into my DC boxes, and they were a reflection of the times, a reflection of the fashion, but they did have that sense of deeper thought that tapping your innermost fears, right?
Yeah.
It was that time period during the movies. It reflected the movies at more of a introspective look at yourself, and not just a boo type of story.
Yeah. Also, you had. I'm going to put us all on here. Another thing I always find interesting about this time is, we were in Vietnam. The country was in Vietnam or getting out of Vietnam. So there was death all over the place. And the news, my mom would sit there when my dad was in Vietnam. She would sit there and watch the news, and all it was, people carrying bodies.
Yeah.
It was just all death.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that these I think that had something. It was more acceptable. You weren't so scared,
Right,
of the funny books. You weren't so scared of reading titles like this because you were dealing with it. And I think that these artists put in, Bernie Wrightson. I read an interview he did where he kind of mentioned that a little bit on you don't want to make it too real, but you do. You don't want it to be too cartoony.
Yeah.
You want it to represent something that can. And Wrightson, a lot of his stuff is like that. I mean, it's very realistic almost. It's very, what's the word in art? I can't remember. But I'm ranting. But yeah, that's kind of what, yes, Tuck?
I read yesterday all of the Richard Corbin, Edgar Allan Poe stories, and the art in those books are like amazing. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Richard Corbin also did the Crooked Man, Hellboy, where he helped write that or something. Did the covers for that. But yeah, no, cool. Like he also did a bunch of the older covers for Ghosts and House of Secrets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, awesome. Like legit the coolest.
Oh yeah.
Kind of going back what you said, Joe. Pre-code horror, those guys were getting out of World War II.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They seen things. They were reading these comics, right? So what you said about now we're coming home from Vietnam. There's a lot of realism, right? So that makes a whole lot of sense.
See, is it art imitates life, or does life imitate art?
Oh man,
That's it's getting kind of deep here. But like we've talked before, Tom Savini, one of the greatest makeup artists motion picture history.
Mm-hmm.
George Romero, when he did Dawn of the Dead, the original one, 77, 78, he wanted realism with these zombies. And Tom Savini was like, I was a photographer in Vietnam. If you want to look at some real photos and what a body looks like after it's been blown up or ripped apart, here, I'll show you. So Savini and Romero hired Savini. He said, you're hired, dude, if you want to do this. So that's almost like an life imitates art kind of thing. But yeah, no, it's like so much to learn from. Oh God, this is getting way too deep.
Right.
So if you look at turning a negative into a positive, that's something right there.
Yeah.
Which I think that's not like that anymore. It is, but it's not. I'm not just talking movies, but it's the making the negative into a positive so you can deal with it. You can deal with the loss, and you can deal with what a person has seen and all that shit. Wow, I totally forgot on where we were going with that. But anyway, I'll show you a few more covers of Ghosts.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
It's good to talk,
Oh yeah.
Issue 55. I cannot wait to get into these and start reading them.
Yeah. Now, I'm gonna be upfront. Not every story is a home run.
Oh,
you're
no.
gonna read some and go, what? Grown, but still.
It's all right.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. I like another thing too is I like the stories by the sea, especially sea covers, lighthouse covers.
Yeah.
I think that comes from watching growing up. One of my favorite horror movies was John Carpenter's The Fog. So I just like that whole creepy, even when I lived out in Oregon at night and I'd go for a walk on the beach at night.
Yeah.
It was just the stars of the moon and the lighthouse. Real eerie, creepy, even if I didn't think I have all those things in my head of things that I've read and seen. But it's just a very creepy atmosphere,
Yeah.
Little ghost of a dead man.
And once you get into some of those, you're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna look something up real quick.
Yeah.
And there's little rabbit holes just waiting in each page, man.
It's called the Split Spectre.
And then I often think about that one theory that you had about the whole, the government looking into, witchcraft and
oh yeah,
dude,
from what was it?
MK7 or something like that.
Yeah, from the 70s.
Yeah,
they'd hire. They hired back in World War II. Also, they hired the British Parliament. They hired warlocks and witches to put a hex on Hitler and the Nazis, and in a way, it worked. I don't know.
and
There you go. Say
his
what?
second in command, his second in command had a fascination with the occult.
Yeah.
He had his own division where these guys were not warriors; they were researchers. They were out there looking for artifacts, things like that.
Fighting Indiana Jones, dude.
Oh yeah,
yeah. They were looking. It's a proven fact that Hitler wanted the Spear of Destiny.
Oh yeah,
he wanted the actual artifact the Roman soldier used to stab Christ in the chest. And a lot of people claim he had it. I don't know. The
Ghosts.
haunted cell. Is that a light bulb on there he's carrying? Sure is.
And these are all like nice copies, man. Very nice.
Oh man, they are. There's not these no spine ticks, nothing. They're just kind of nice and pretty. Here, I got just a couple more here. See, it's stuff like this. This is issue 71. I mean, look at that fire creature or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, that just looks spooky. It looks spooky, dudes.
What? The Fire Squatch?
Fire
The
Squatch. The Spectre of the Haunted Highway.
Dude, so going back to that last one, demon ghosts. What can you tell me about demon ghosts, monster ghosts?
Oh, I don't know.
They
Like-
freaky.
They're very freaky. Not as freaky as the Demon Dog, the Hound from Hell, starring Richard Crenna. But hey, can't have everything. Hey, Ryu's in the house.
Squatch thing.
How you doing, Ryu? I just kind of want to find another. Yeah, they're all just that. Well, this one looks kind of like a urban type.
Yeah.
This is kind of cool with the more skeletons.
He's being tormented in prison.
It's usually where it happens.
You know what you did, boy.
That's a skeleton of a lion.
But also another thing too with a lot of these stories is it's always about how the main character is like an actual like monster
Yeah,
and gets punished by whatever monsters and ghosts.
Because we are the monsters.
'Cause we are the real monsters.
Yeah, that is a definite trope in all these books. It's the
Whoa,
jerk gets it at the end.
you saw the Northern Lights down in the zoo, dude? Not bad. Nice. That's kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
A lot of the Charlton, I like those too, horror comics, because they kind of take place kind of in that gothic type,
Yeah.
hammer movie. That there's a skull on that insect. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Has there been a skeleton on each one?
Basically, look at that one.
I think you're right, man.
No. Is that skeleton? Is the skeleton holding the gun? What's it? Oh no, he's dropping a. I don't know.
It's
For
like
some reason,
It's like a cement shovel.
yeah, I thought it was a gun or something. I don't know.
Oh, he's the one. He's holding
Yeah,
it. He's dropping it. Craziness, man. It's crazy. It's a madhouse.
Meadows.
Spooky dude, Ryu.
Ryu.
God, I haven't seen the Northern Lights. I guess they're out, but I just haven't looked at them. What was I was going to say something else. I forgot now. Yeah, I think that horror comics don't. I mean, they have a lot of modern horror comics, but they're not. There's a couple that British Paranormal Society. I got that. That's by the guys that did Hellboy. That's a pretty good one. That's like X-Files, type thing.
Yeah.
But I like what they're doing with his Event Horizon. That's just cool that we're knowing what happened before that. Because I always thought, they've been doing Dead Space books and comics, Alien Space and comics. You got to hit, other cult classics too, you know. Hell yeah. All right, guys. Let's talk about some wrestling here.
So wrestling.
Mike, I'm going to ask you. I don't know if it's possible, but do you have either you saw it live or you saw it on TV or whatever. Do you personally have a favorite match?
The one I'm always going to go to is the dog collar match between Greg the Hammer Valentine and Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
Because my holy grail back in the day of VHS tapes was called Lords of the Ring. I don't know if you remember that advertisement, because, you know, we would get some of the wrestling magazines and it was there. And this thing had all these like cool matches that you wanted to see. Well, we finally got a hold of one. And that match right there, that one. Hey, McAllister.
Here.
That one was the most brutal, scariest, in my opinion, right? It was just blood and you're like, this is not fake.
Yeah.
Because even back then, you know, you could tell, okay, these guys are pulling punches here and there, but that one, and like I said, I grew up in Texas. We had the Von Erichs, we had the Freebirds every weekend, it seemed, and just the big matches in the Will Rogers Coliseum. You had the David Von Erich Memorial shows in Texas Stadium, things like the Jackson Roy Kurt. Growing up, and then on certain nights, because I lived in North Texas, on certain nights when, you know, back in those days where you would turn a channel and you saw a wrestling program you've never seen before. After a while, we started getting Southwest Championship Wrestling. Have you ever heard of that?
Okay. No.
Okay, Southwest Championship Wrestling. You didn't have all the big names, but you know, it was Texas, it was wrestling. The unique thing about that was you had two interviews. One, because this was from San Antonio, Texas, in that area. So you had one guy asking questions in Spanish. At the same time, you had another guy interviewing the wrestler in English. So it was confusing, awesome. But on that one, on that wrestling program, I saw for the first time the Sheepherders, which you guys probably remember as the Bushwhackers.
Okay, I was going to say.
They weren't the lovable.
Did they go like this? Did they do their...
The Sheepherders were down and dirty, bloody messes all over the ring. I mean, just stuff like that. And I do remember seeing the Mummy. A guy came out dressed as a mummy, and when he was hitting or getting hit, powder would fly everywhere. So that's what I grew up on that wild, just wasn't really wrestling. It was just guys kicking and punching and biting and scratching.
Having a good time.
Yeah, so those would be like my favorites. Even as kids, when we'd go to the farm, the cotton trailers, right? We would have our own cage matches in the cotton trailers. So we'd throw against each other against the trailer. It rattled just like that. So, yeah, man. Like I said, growing up, we went to one show and I got Chris Adams' autograph. So that was a memorable thing. But no, we didn't do a lot of live events and definitely didn't go to any of the big WWF or /WWE events. But I know you guys got that covered.
Isn't it interesting how each state or because up here we always had for years, we had the Northern Outlaw Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So that was basically, it was based out of Minneapolis, which is a huge wrestling town up here in the upper Midwest. But we also had Winnipeg. We had a lot of Canadians that would come down, like Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho used to wrestle North Dakota all the time because he was up from, where was he from? He was from Saskatchewan somewhere, I believe. But he was always, he did some of the Minnesota wrestling,
Yeah.
and he was always over here wrestling people before he was, Chris Jericho, Y2J, and we got quite a few of those people that before they were big would be up here,
Yeah.
which was kind of fun. But then it kind of like it stopped in North Dakota. There was no major big wrestling in South Dakota or Montana, or Wyoming. But then as soon as you hit, Washington State, Seattle, Portland for a while had a huge wrestling, was a huge wrestling city. And then as soon as farther from than Portland, then you'd go down to Northern California. But my favorite type of wrestling to watch too is always the Lucha Libres and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and that was all based out that kind of southern, Mexico, but that really got popular in Southern California too, didn't it? I believe. Yeah, down in San Diego and stuff like that. So you guys, so then I'm just kind of thinking of the slant, like Minnesota, North Dakota. Now you're in Southern California. You're kind of creeping up into Arizona. Now you're going down into Texas. And Texas has always been huge with wrestling.
Oh yeah, I mean,
that's serious shit. And then it kind of moved up into Memphis. Jerry Lawler and Andy Kaufman and even Adam West. Have you ever seen footage of that? Adam West back was considered. He'd show up. He wasn't Batman,
right.
but he had like the cowl on.
Yeah.
And that was kind of cool.
Probably in Memphis, right?
Yeah, we had quite a few. Yeah, Ryu, awesome. I love that stuff, man.
Yeah.
But man, we got a channel up here that was had wrestling on it, Memphis, for some reason.
Oh wow,
the connection.
Yeah.
But we used to watch the Memphis wrestling all the time.
No, on Sundays we'd watch, wrestling from Mexico, the Mexican style wrestling.
Yeah.
And that was my grandfather's favorite, right? But that man would watch anything wrestling. And, this is the grandfather that lived out in the country. He found out that you could buy a satellite dish, not the DirecTV ones that we know today. But
one of those huge ones, yeah.
He invested some money in that, and he would have us pointing that thing and turning this way, and anything that remotely he knew, okay, wrestling's going to be here. We were watching wrestling from Japan because back then satellites would literally pick up the world. So he figured out where wrestling, where to point the satellite, what time it was going to be on. That was that man's passion.
Yep, Crockett's Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah.
But the thing that I actually saw the TBS.
Yes.
Ric Flair, Magnum TA, was it TA?
Yeah, Magnum TA.
Magnum TA, all that stuff. That was was that on Saturday night or was that on Sunday night?
That was Saturday night and sometimes Sunday. Two satellite dishes. Dang. There you go.
Dang. That's some sweet stuff.
Oh yeah.
Mid-Atlantic. Oh, and then a funny thing too is when I was living out in Charlotte, North Carolina, up in Huntersville, Ricky Steamboat Wrestling School. Okay. It was just like wrestling is huge. That's another huge area for wrestling. North Carolina. I want to try to.
That's a Mid-Atlantic that McAllister was talking about.
I'm going to try to find a couple of videos here, so give me a second.
Do it.
Converse amongst yourselves.
What about you, Spook, man? What are your wrestling memories?
Wrestling memories? Well, I was growing up, we watched a lot of just like, the SmackDown, Raw stuff that was on. But like the stuff I really liked was the we had that WrestleMania box set, or was it WrestleMania?
Oh,
It was
yeah.
Starcade. The Starcade.
Starcade.
Okay.
Watching those all the time. That's some of my favorite stuff. I just love how goofy, fun. But like when you're a kid and you're watching that, you're like, this is real. This is not fake. This is real life. Like whenever I know it's a little bit later, but whenever like the Undertaker would show up, I would actually believe that he was dragging these fuckers to hell. I was like, oh no. That's beautiful.
Well, we saw it. We've gone to quite a few wrestling things up here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The Honky Tonk Man.
Honky Tonk Man.
Oh, dude, Honky Tonk Man.
There was it Booker T was here one time too? We didn't meet him though, but trying to think who else was up here.
Sorry.
But how long ago was that, Dad, with the Honky Tonk Man? That's gotta be,
Let's see, Honky Tonk, probably 88.
I'd
89.
say you were maybe 4 or 5 years old.
okay.
Wow.
So 2008, 2009. All right.
Crazy.
I got some stuff here. Monday Night Wars. St. Louis. St. Louis was another huge wrestling area.
Oh,
All right, here we go.
What you got, Joe? What you got?
Okay, so I
That's
love
beautiful.
this stuff. What do I,
Yeah.
You could have, we could have. All right, let's see what's next. I'm ready to go. You guys, so let's watch another match.
Good. Let's do it.
For the light heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
Was it?
Copyright got us. Yeah, that's what they're saying in the chat. Outlaws, baby, outlaw.
They can't take us out.
But wait a little bit. It'll come back on. Remember what happened to Rob during his birthday
do we
party?
have-
Yeah, we're gonna wait a little bit.
How the heck can we get taken down? It wasn't a WWE thing.
I think
It was
don't
just
they
some
own
other-
all the footage?
They own all the footage.
They own, yeah. You would have to find like obscure that.
But how can that guy, the guy that we were watching that off of, that was off some guy's video.
Yeah,
How can he keep his video up?
bro. He's probably I don't know. I asked the same thing because that's all my videos consist of. Just sharing cool stuff that I think is cool. Oh yeah, dude, I get hit with this all the time. But it's gonna come back up if we stay here. Let's see if the people stick around.
Yeah.
So put it in the
Man,
chat.
we were up to what?
Put
We
it in
were
the
up
chat.
to what? 12 people in the chat.
Yeah.
Do we restart it or no?
No.
We don't
let
have to
everybody-
restart.
Some people will stick around.
Okay, I'll be right back. Oh God.
That damn Nacho got us thrown off.
For real. I was hoping he would win.
Yeah. No. See, back then, if you were on the ropes, that was it. You're not coming back from that. It's
Yeah.
just weird. Sorry. Hey man, you feeling good? Or your dad said you're not feeling too well.
Yeah, I'm a little out of it.
Yeah.
I've been throwing up and
No, dude, that's going around, dude.
so I'm just kind of like, oh.
You're struggling to stay on.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm still here. I'm fine, but I'm just like, so.
No, just put in the chat. Give it a minute.
Yeah,
Come
we're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We will not get shut down.
They can't hold us back forever.
If we can't watch it, go to the Internet Archive, and we can look at a bunch of old wrestling magazines from 70s up to 2000s, man. See what the chat says about all those Cool wrestling mags back then. Hey guys, thank y'all for sticking around. Yeah, when they do that, from what I understand, they'll take it down for a little bit and then they'll come back. They're just spanking Joe on the wrist, saying, "Don't do that no more."
Let's see here.
And then when you get to Internet Archive, just type in pro wrestling magazines, and you'll see all the years and not any particular order. That's the cool thing about it. And you can read every single one. Yeah, guys, Nacho Barrera got us taken down.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And that caused Joe to get up and storm out of the room. Now Joe's doing his normal Joe thing.
The Joe bathroom.
No, hey, he's back. He's back. We're back,
Are
brother.
we back on? Are we back on?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm getting the punishment. I got taken away.
Yeah, no, they'll do that, man. They'll just shut you down for a little bit, and then they're like, "Don't you do that again." But yeah, man, that was fun, dude. That was as soon as that started, as soon as that intro started, it took me back to a Saturday night. The lights are dim, if they're on at all, and you're just sitting there, either with your brothers, sisters, you're just watching wrestling, and it felt good.
Yeah.
It's like I'm staying up late because we were kids, right? I'm staying up late. I get to experience this. I might even make it to 12 o'clock if I'm lucky, right?
Yep.
But dude, yeah. Any wrestling open from back then is awesome.
I think that's just something every generation kind of has that, you just, and I feel that our generation, Mike, ours, because these guys, these young dudes, they'll sit up and, play vids all night long and chat with their friends and do all that stuff. We didn't have that.
No.
It was more of it was, and I tried to do that with the kids, and I still always did. Like, while my friends were out drinking beer on a Saturday night,
right?
We were going to Burger King at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, and just chilling out. Me and the boys, and that's to me because it reminded me of when I was younger,
right?
And when, like you said, as soon as there's a certain intro, like when that old, like especially the early 80s SNL, when I watch any of the replays of those, that really brings me back to, because that's what we did, Saturday nights, you're at home playing with your toys, or you got the, couple of, an hour on the Atari 2600, and you're renting a movie or you're watching SNL, but you get to stay up late, and like TBS on Friday nights, even NBC when the Night Stalker, they had the Saturday night movies. They always had the scary movies on.
Right? After wrestling, you had the late movie.
Yep.
I mean, it was an event, because if you missed it, you missed it, right? Of course,
yeah,
we know that, but imagine, dude, we're waking up at 6 a.m, 7 a.m, watching cartoons.
Yep.
Right? Cartoons are over. We're going outside and play. Sun comes down. You got to get your butt back in the house. You wait a little bit. Here comes wrestling. Dude, amazing times. Amazing.
Yeah.
Times.
And that thing too is like, Saturday mornings, man.
Yeah.
I didn't like hunting season. Hunting was fine, but like Saturday mornings, I'd rather be, oh man, I can't watch the Super Friends because we're going hunting.
Yeah.
But that was the only time we could really watch those cartoons.
Right.
You had Warner, like TBS at 3, between 3 and 5. You did have Warner Brother cartoons. You did have Bugs Bunny.
Right.
Roadrunner. You had the Ultraman and Spectre Man, kind of shit. but you didn't have the cartoon. Now you can turn it to any channel and you're watching cartoons. You can turn on YouTube whenever you want and watch cartoons. You know, I don't know. It's all good though. What's Kirby? Wait, we have library here.
Let's see what the
Freaks
folks-
and geeks. Yeah, exactly. Huge, heavy, 500-pound freaking TVs.
Yes.
No remote. You had to get off your ass to change the little click, click, click. We used to have a little black box that you flip it up to get free HBO.
Oh wow.
There's the HBO box, and you'd flip it, and you'd get free HBO, man. Ooh, don't let the cops find out. They couldn't censor that.
Yeah. I was walking the streets of Montreal years back. There was a former pro wrestler strongman living in the streets called the Great Antonio Legend.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
instantly. Well, that's like when we were up at Auntie Jenny's cabin up at Lake Metagoshi, and you got a lot of Canadian channels up there because it was about 10 minutes away from the Canadian. You're right at the Canadian border,
Right.
so you get all these French, channels, and you'd get French horror, Canadian horror movies and the Canadian news and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Oh, same
This-
thing down here in Mexico. You
yeah.
get all that stuff. Yeah.
I remember that when I lived in LA too. There's a lot of Spanish TV channels.
Oh yeah.
And you're just like, this is just like up in North Dakota, except for it's not, it's not Spanish, it's it's French up here,
Yeah.
with Canada. Just
A
a
lot
lot of cool different things. I love it.
There's similarities, man. Similarities. Just growing up.
But favorite wrestling matches would be I remember the dog collar match. That was pretty cool. But I loved the Hell in the Cell match between Undertaker and Mick Foley, Mankind. You ever seen that?
Oh yeah. I
When
mean,
Undertaker throws him off the. If you watch any of the behind the scenes stuff on that, like they're on top of the cage, and Undertaker. Yeah.
library saying the local ads, the jingles. Yeah.
Yep. The local stuff. But he told him, he said, throw me off the cage. He's like, no. He's like, throw me off the cage. So he threw him off the cage. Oh. I think a lot of, there's not really, I don't think a lot of technical wrestling anymore.
No.
Like there used to be. There's a few wrestlers, but everything now is just the gimmick and the standing there and staring at each other and
Right,
let's see how many eyebrows I can lift and, kind of thing. But it's not like that old school stuff.
Well, I remember reading the wrestling magazines from back then. Your scientific wrestlers, right?
Yep.
Do the holes, and then you had your brawlers, things like that. Oh yeah, man.
Jeff Hardy, an amazing, amazing wrestler. I mean, that guy was showman. I mean, I think the Hardy Boys are back. They still wrestle some, I think, is it AEW or I can't remember. Impact Wrestling.
TNA Wrestling, which is probably part of WWE now.
Yeah, that's all they're connecting and they're wrestling each other. And
No, like I said, man, I still keep up because it's in my blood. Wrestling is in my blood. It's like comic books. You maybe walk away for a while, but you always come back.
yep.
And yeah, some of the newer stuff, whatever, but you still are in tune to it. You're still going to go watch some highlight videos. You're still going to try to keep up with what's kind of going on. And I guess now there's so much wrestling that it's almost like you're saturated with it.
Yeah.
And going back to our times where it was on an hour a week, maybe 2 hours, cable came in, and now you could watch TBS, right? You could see the Saturday nights. you didn't watch it for the wrestling because it sucked, but you watched it to see what they were going to say and
Yeah.
you know how crazy they're going to act, things like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Showboats. I loved listening to the old Ric Flair back in the day.
oh,
You know,
yeah.
that's American Dream, Death of Rhodes,
Dusty Rhodes, Jim
I'm
Cornette.
American Dream.
Oh man, yeah, I remember Jim Cornette talking about the Rock and Roll Express. You guys look like an explosion from a Salvation Army box.
Yeah,
rolling, they had me rolling.
yeah. I think it was the Rock and Roll Express that was in the Highlander movie back in the day.
Ooh, that I
There's
don't
that opening scene where Christopher Lambert, before he sword fights the guy in the Madison Square Garden,
Yeah.
and he's at a wrestling match. I think it's the Rock and Roll Express. That's
Is
there.
it really? No,
Wrestling? Yeah,
I don't
it
recall.
was
That.
pretty cool.
I remember watching on USA Network, right? The very first WWF
Yep.
that ever watched, that tuned into. They happened to replay the night Hulk Hogan won against the Iron Sheik.
Yep.
And I was like, what is this? I've never heard of these people before. It was a
Yeah.
whole new world. And then they had something called TNT on Tuesday Night Titans.
Yes.
They would show some old wrestling. They would show the wrestling, but it was McMahon at the desk, and he had Lord Alfred Hayes there. It's sort of like a talk show format.
Mm-hmm.
And again, dude, it was just like cable just brought in a whole new connection. So yeah, and then of course you had the wrestling tapes back then.
You feeling all right?
Yeah, I'm just a little wonky. So
It was
Yeah, we've all been sick.
it was not
recently.
cool.
But
No.
yeah, I remember that too. Like, who are these guys? Because I grew up with, like I said, Ric Flair,
Yeah.
TBS wrestling, and then all of a sudden this Hulk Hogan and all these other. I'm like, who the hell are these guys? And then WrestleMania hit, the first WrestleMania, and I tell you, if it wasn't for like Mr. T, Roddy Piper, Paul Orndorff,
Yeah.
wrestling cards were all over the place too.
So let me tell you a quick story. So Kirby mentioned the ECW tapes, right?
Yep.
One of my brothers, he would go to a local video store, right? He walks in one day and he sees a cartoon up on the screen, guys checking it out. And my brother says, "What is this?" And the guy says, "I don't know, something Dragon Ball something. It's from Japan." Okay. All right. And so my brother's like, "Well, that looks kind of cool." And the guy goes, "Hey, you want to borrow it?" And my brother's like, "Sure." He goes, "But you got to let me borrow some of your wrestling tapes." Right. Because, they knew each other like that. So my brother does the trade, right? Then my brother says, "You know what? I'm going to sell these on eBay in the infancy of eBay." So he's making dub after dub of Dragon Ball Z cartoons, all in Japanese, right? He starts making them, and of course, eBay catches wind. We're shutting you down. You cannot. This is copyrighted material. You cannot do it, right? And maybe I'm wrong, but maybe it was before the English dubs. I don't know. My brother's telling me a story. So he says, "Dang, I'm making pretty good money off of these bootleg tapes, right? One tape is all he borrowed, and he was dubbing. So then he says, well, then I started thinking, well, I'm going to sell a card, a trading card. And if you win the bid or you buy the card, I'll give you a free Dragon Ball Z." So he is not technically selling it. He made enough money, Joe, to start his own little toy store in one of those little malls, strip mall. There you go, dude. And he would sell all these figurines, things like that. So yeah, that was his from dubs to riches.
That's great.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Off of wrestling tapes.
For wrestling tapes. We said there was a speaking of Japanese, you want to watch some great wrestling matches?
Oh, yeah.
Some of my all-time favorite are when Mick Foley and Terry Funk
Yes.
wrestled in Japan.
Yeah.
There was a one in Mick Foley's book, Have a Nice Day, which is one of the greatest books you will ever read in your life. I finished that 300-page book in an hour.
Wow.
I could not put the damn thing down. I just boom, 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 boom. I've read that book 20 times. But it was the night where he had his rear ear ripped off.
Mm.
And Mick Foley got his ear ripped off because it got stuck in they were having him and Terry Funk were having a barbed wire match. And he got his ear stuck in the barbed wire. And he didn't know what to do. He's like, I can't move. And Funk's like, this is going to hurt, son. And yanked on the barbed wire, and his ear part of his ear, gone. But those guys would blow each other up.
Yeah.
They would, it was stitches every night. Every night. And Foley said his wife really wanted to go over to Japan, but he was like, honey, I don't want you to see this. This is bad shit. So she snuck over there, and she was sitting in the front row, and Funk was like, dude, you better not slow down because your wife is here. In fact, I wanted 110. You give me 110. I want 180% tonight because your wife's here. And that was the night he ripped his ear off. And she was like, so pissed at him. He does make a great looking Santa. But yeah, some of the funniest wrestling stories you'll ever hear, how like Steve Austin, Stone Cold, when he was with WCW and Foley was Cactus Jack, over there. And nobody liked rooming with Stone Cold, Steve Austin, because he was such a pansy. He'd be like, no, I'm going to go to bed early. And everyone's like, we're partying. Get out of the room. I want to go to bed. It was like, they were like, what, dude? Come on. That was when what was his name over there? Stunning? Was it Stunning?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, with the pretty golden hair. Kirby, was there a lot of wrestling up? There was a lot of wrestling up in Michigan, like local stuff, I think. Was there? I don't know. I guess I'm asking you the question.
I imagine, yeah.
It's just Midwest type stuff. But I wonder if they got any kind of Canadian. Well, it's like I said, Winnipeg, Grand Forks, North Dakota. They'd always get a lot of the Winnipeg wrestlers, up in Manitoba, Winnipeg, Manitoba. Oh man, I could talk about wrestling all freaking night long. Damn, that really sucks. I wanted to watch some more of those matches.
Nah, dude. That's it. I think WWE lays claim to anything and everything wrestling, and then their guns are bigger than yours, so you've got to tap out. Just say it like that. All right, Spooky, did you collect any of the wrestling figures? How deep into wrestling did you take this, man? Or are you just a viewer?
I'm mainly just a viewer.
Yeah.
Trying to think if I did collect any. The only thing I really had that was wrestling stuff was like John Cena.
Nice.
Yeah.
John Cena, but no, I mainly just watched. Also, I liked watching a lot of the wrestlers act and things like Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper is like one of my favorites. So like watching They Live or Frogtown, stuff like that. When I was a kid, I liked the movie Mr. Nanny. So
All right.
Movie, man. I've never watched it.
Or like Gremlins 2 when Hulk Hogan would show up. But
yeah, doesn't he kind of save the day at the end of that?
He's the projector. It's the projector gag with what's going on. And Hulk Hogan's like, come on, we can't do this. And he gets killed by a bunch of gremlins. Which, speaking of which, Gremlins 3, 2027.
Yeah.
Gremlins 3 is coming out.
Oh, wow.
So,
did you also see that the John Carpenter produced, written, and directed? Production right now is going on for The Thing 2. So is Kurt Russell going to be in it? What's going on?
Dude, yeah. Fast food. Wow.
Gremlins 2. Such a great movie.
And then Spielberg's producing. Chris Columbus is directing, so he wrote the first 2 scripts of the original Gremlins. So
the guy that made the first few Harry Potter movies is coming back to direct Gremlins 3.
Yep.
That is beautiful.
Yeah. But I don't know. I love watching as much as I enjoy watching like wrestling matches. I really like to hear the wrestlers talk about all the crazy shit that they used to do, or like all the like mysteries, or like, I mean, it gets pretty dark with a lot of the stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like I love watching Dark Side of the Ring.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's like the best stuff ever. Even though it's so like straight up is some of the craziest shit ever, and kind of like I don't say ruins, but it definitely adds an extra layer to watching a lot of those matches. But yeah, no, I love that. I love the behind the scenes stuff. See, Thing 2. Yeah, I was praying for something real. That's crazy. Because I remember with the Thing 2, they found that original manuscript, Frozen Hell.
Yeah.
And then they published that, which I haven't read. I don't even know what it is. What
is that the comic?
No, that's the book. That's the original
book, Frozen Hell. Okay, now
yeah, the original like manuscript or whatever of Who Goes There. They found, and they released it. And I think Blumhouse bought the rights.
You want to see some crazy prices on shit? Try to find the soft, the paperback version of John Carpenter's The Thing.
Oh, I imagine, yeah.
$150, $200. I remember seeing that in the grocery stores too, where all the books were at. I'd be sitting there looking at all the Peanuts, getting the Snoopy little paperbacks, and Dark Side of the Ring is pretty good. Yeah, Kirby, I saw that. I watched some of it. He's a really cool dude, man. What the fuck? I can never remember his name. Mark
Calloway.
Yep.
I believe. Mark Calloway.
He's actually really good friends with Angelina Jolie.
What?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Like, she crashed at his house when some kind of thing was going on with her and Brad Pitt. I guess Jolie and Undertaker's wife I don't know, girlfriend, whatever. Ooh, Kevin's here.
Kev.
What's up, Kevin?
What's up, Kev?
What's up, dude? We're just talking wrestling, bro.
Wrestling and everything that revolves around it. But what is that connection between wrestling and comic books?
I was just about to ask. Yeah.
There's a lot of overlay there.
The characters. There's
well,
characters.
They're superheroes.
They are. They're modern day
superheroes.
gladiators.
Yeah.
People would pay money back in the Roman times to watch people slaughter each other on. Do you know in some of those, when I did my theater history class, in Romans, they banned theater and art. But they'd have the Colosseum. They would flood the Colosseum to have warships and have battleship, like gladiators killing each other. And that's insane to me. But they loved it.
Yes.
They wanted the blood. We're like animalistic. We're animals, man. We have opposable thumbs and shit. So we think we're smarter. But it's that bloodlust that we do have.
Right.
That we like to watch people beat the shit out of each other. It's in our genes. It's in our DNA. That's just what.
It's like we have our own problems, but I'm going to watch these people.
Yeah.
Lay it out to the point where, I'm going to get some sort of like, get them, or, it's that instinct in us. Right. And going back to the Roman times, right. We wanted to see that. We wanted to see because, we weren't going to face it in our own lives, but I'm going to watch somebody else do it, and I'm going to have that outlet. So, yeah, I see that big time.
I just think there's such a difference between. Now, I don't want to offend anybody here, but there's a difference between a wrestling fan and a UFC fan. Wrestling fans know the story. They know it's fake.
Yeah.
And it's to a UFC fan, it almost seems beneath them. But yet, for some reason, like I'm not saying all UFC fans are like this, but the ones up north in the frigid cold, they're really kind of like manly about it. You want to watch that UFC fight? Go sit in a bar and drink some whiskey?
Yeah.
Like, no, because that's kind of no. Are you going to wear the dress, or did you want me to wear the dress? I mean, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
But they just kind of wish they were fighters. That's right.
Yeah.
It's just annoying sometimes. I like watching UFC shit sometimes.
Yeah.
I would rather watch women UFC fighters or women boxers than men boxers or men UFC.
Or even the UFC fighters that capitalize on the wrestling angle of it.
Yeah.
Talk. I'm going to get you in the ring. I'm going to do this. It brings that drama back to it. So, yeah, some of those guys can do it very well. And some are just pure fighters. They're going to get in there, no show. They're going to do what they do.
It's like UFC. I always think of Brock Lesnar. I mean, that guy would rip the shit out of people.
Yeah.
We were talking. We were right in line at a bank up here in Minot with Brock Lesnar standing behind us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, guys, look. And they turn around. It's like, there's Brock Lesnar just freaking standing there. And it was just like.
I remember because I was sitting there waiting. I don't even know what we were doing. I was waiting to get like a new debit card or something at the bank. And I'm sitting there and I turn around and you're just looking at me. Yeah, fuck. Just. Just looking at me, And I'm like, what?
Coach him? Did anybody? Hey.
Mm-mm.
No.
It's like one of those things where he just kind of came in, did his thing, and dipped. Like it was scheduled,
Yeah, he walked in there, grabbed his cash because he has a home. I think he lives up in Saskatchewan somewhere, but I know that he keeps his truck stored at the airport up here, and he does a lot of ice fishing.
Oh, okay.
So he always goes to Lake Sacagawea, and he does some ice fishing. But
nice.
No, I could have took him. No, he was a big dude.
Yeah.
He was a big fucking dude.
He just came in, parted the sea, did what he had to do, and got
I don't know, but it was just really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like the kind of guy, if you did walk up to him, he probably, if you had a pen and something to write on, he would probably say, yeah. If you said, can I get a picture too? He'd probably look at you like, kind of pushing it there, kid, kind of thing. But he doesn't look like somebody that would turn a kid down,
Oh, okay.
Now, if I did it, he'd be like, get out of my face. Get out of my face, man.
Yeah.
You want to end up through that window? Yeah, Mr. Lesnar, you can throw me through that window if you want. I don't care. But no, we didn't meet the Honky Tonk Man, but watching the Honky Tonk Man, if you want to listen to some good shit, listen to Honky Tonk Man interviews. Because Honky Tonk Man holds no punches. What do they call that when they're dissing on each other? There's a certain name for it.
They shoot.
When they're shooting on each other.
Yeah.
But the Honky Tonk Man has got, that sounds kind of weird. It's kind of shooting on each other.
On a stream.
Yeah, dude, what are you doing back there? Nothing. Are you eating something? Yeah. Well, feels like you keep dropping warm yogurt on my back. Anyway, so
Oh, man.
no, he's got some really good shit. Like there's
Dude,
this
it's
one
Ric
recording.
Flair.
Do you think I get a copyright if I played that?
I don't think so, but wait, is Ric Flair dead?
No.
No.
He's like a walking skeleton.
There is a recording. I think it's fake. Honky Tonk Man is talking to Ric Flair because Honky Tonk Man had his podcast, and Ric Flair calls him up. You got my money you promised me, Honky. And he's like wanting this money from, and Honky Tonk's Man like, yeah, Rick, well, what happened to all your belts, man? And he's like, I hawked them. I had to get rid of them, you know, and it's, but I guess he asked the Honky Tonk Man for $40,000.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, leave me alone. But he was in a restaurant when he was doing it.
Yeah.
And he got so mad that he got kicked out of the restaurant because he was on his cell phone talking to Honky Tonk Man. And he was drunk. But he did it. But he was like, huh, you and your mustache, huh? Huh? But you need to, you guys, anybody on in the chat, look up Honky Tonk Man, Ric Flair interview, and you will laugh your goddamn ass off.
Yeah,
because it's so funny. But Honky Tonk Man he doesn't hold back, and everybody will throw shit back at him too. But still, it's just freaking hilarious.
no, I mean these guys, these like that generation, and they were professional liars.
Yeah,
and they were going to embellish to the extreme if it got them a paycheck, right? So I imagine there's like little truths along with a lot of not so truth, and but it's entertaining, and yeah, and Spooky mentioned it, and somebody in the chat had mentioned it's not the actual wrestling, it's the whole thing that goes with it, especially if you're going back and listening to these old timers tell stories, you know, about all their conquest and all their drug usage and all that. But I'm like, yeah, that also came with a price.
No.
No, dude, it is fun. I mean, I will watch that on YouTube. I will rather watch Nacho Barrera versus Rock Buckenroll Zumhoff.
yeah.
That's something new. Yeah. So yeah, dude, I'm
And,
about that, man.
you know, but I think that because I remember like Hulk Hogan had a cartoon on
Oh, I
back in the
remember
80s.
watching that. Yeah.
And I remember watching it sometimes.
Yeah.
But you said what the comic books and wrestlers.
Yes.
I think that's just because those characters you can see when you're watching them wrestle,
Yeah.
and the character that they show, you could see that flipping through a comic book too.
Oh yeah.
You know, but just how colorful they are. But I mean, look who they had. Look who they had back in the day. You had the Iron. You want to watch some other, excuse my language, fucked up videos? Just watch Iron Sheik interviews.
Oh yeah.
Iron Sheik is,
Yeah.
dude. That Howard Stern interview he did,
Yeah.
and he was calling Hulk Hogan
Yeah.
expletive that starts with an F and refers to, you know, gay dudes.
Saying some slurs.
You're just like, oh my God, man. But he's just drunk and high. But then when you watch videos with like Honky Tonk Man's always like, oh, the Sheik was he was gentle. He'd only do that persona when he's out in public.
Yeah.
But he goes, that guy owes me so many bags of weed.
Yeah.
It's like Sheik nobody liked to party with Sheik because he'd always steal their dope.
Oh man.
You're stealing my weed.
He was
Where'd
that.
my weed go?
Yeah. There's a story Undertaker is talking about on his podcast where he decided to room with him. Apparently everyone loves Sheik a lot more than
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was rooming with Sheik for a bit, like on the road, and he said that like there's one night where he was like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed. Sheik was like, all right, yeah, me too. And he was sitting there and he woke up and it was like freezing. And he like looked over and Sheik was on like the balcony naked doing squats in like the cold,
Yeah.
and just like like that. And yeah, that's the funniest shit ever. I think she
it's
was so
like
goofy.
every time he would go down, the sunlight would hit it perfectly, so where he would see the glistening shadow of the Sheik's nuts when he would go down.
Hmm.
It's like the glistening shadow. Yeah, I heard that about Hogan. Hogan was not a liked person at
Well,
all.
who was it? Brutus Beefcake. He like blamed Brutus Beefcake for like the steroids thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Like even though he was literally like 100% roids. So, but yeah, Hulk Hogan's a freak. He passed away this year, right?
Yeah.
yes. Yeah. No, I mean, but yeah, all those guys, they're all one and the same in a sense. How am I going to get paid, and who do I got to fuck over to get paid? You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. That's sad. That makes me sad. All right, guys, you got anything else you want to talk about at all tonight?
I know we were talking about comic books and wrestling, and last week I showed off the Absolute Batman annual, and the guy that did the main story in that book, his name's Daniel Warren Johnson. He's a huge wrestling fan.
Okay.
And if you read read the Absolute Batman annual, he gives a white supremacist a power bomb. But he wrote a book called Do a Power Bomb, and it's a wrestling story.
I've
And
seen
he wrote and drew, and I heard it's amazing. I haven't read it,
Yeah.
but I do want to read it. But I know he's a huge wrestling fan, so
Wow.
Tape in the main event.
Tugboat.
Yeah, tugboat.
Dude.
Dude, that's something I haven't heard in years.
Yeah.
Tugboat. Dino Bravo. Okay.
Jimmy Mouth of the South Heart. Yeah. Probably.
Oh, wow. You were there for the major shit, Kevin. Yeah, that what'd you think of that Absolute Batman annual, Tuck?
dude, that shit was awesome. Like, it was so fun, and it's like it's weird because it's so action packed and crazy and in your face with like the action, but it's just like there's still those moments, and it's just he's such a great storyteller, and it's such Batman's one of the greatest characters ever, so it just works. There's a priest character Batman talks to in it. You know how Batman has his like death, like no kill rule, and the priest has his way too, but the priest is more like, no, let's not resort to violence. And him and the priest kind of have some back and forth, but it's a beautiful story, and it's funny because it's a beautiful story and it's emotional, but it's him like flamethrower and a bunch of white supremacists, so it's awesome. So you're like, okay,
I was already firing up the Hulu app, the Hoopla app. My report card, my library card's too old. I got to go renew it or whatever I got to do, and I'm getting back, and I'm gonna start reading that Absolute Batman.
It's so good. I'm fully caught up now.
Yeah.
On everything, and then issue 14 comes out end of the month, which I can't wait. Like, I can't wait at all. I wish it was here now. But like I will say this because I'm such a big fan of like anime and that like manga, like Akira, stuff like that, Dragon Ball, and having that same like art style and action scenes mixed in with a really like, I honestly think it's some of Scott Snyder's best writing.
Ooh.
And it's just that together, and it's Batman. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh man, I love it.
Yeah. Why is that chair there? Okay. Now I know.
Giveaway.
I know. I love it. It's like, why would they have all those tables underneath the ring?
Well,
It's like, they need a table. It's under the ring. Yeah,
So,
I don't know. I just can't. I got so many other stories I'm reading. I just don't want to jump into that absolute Batman. But at the same time, it just started.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I mean, that's the best time to do it.
Jump
But
in there.
I don't know.
Yeah, on things like that, something kind of new. I'll do the hoopla, but apparently I need to get the new library card. It was working great 2 weeks ago. That
So,
goes. But go support your local libraries. That's all I'll say.
oh yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, all right, Tuck. Next Tuesday night, we'll be doing the same thing here at 9. Easy, Mike. Thank you, brother, for showing up, man.
I
You're
appreciate the
welcome.
invite. I really do.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome anytime. So
I encourage anybody to come on, join these guys. And
yeah,
don't know. I mean, it's fun. It's fun. So come on now.
we've had
But
the guests we've had so far is you and Shannon.
Oh,
We
wow.
had Shannon when we were talking about Phantasm a few months back.
Yes, I remember that one.
That was awesome. And now we have another awesome show. So we got 2 of you guys under our belts now.
Well, speaking of Shannon and Hot Rod, this Saturday, the Dynamic Duo is back. They're back.
Oh, sweet.
And they invited me to come on with them. I told them, no, come on, man. I don't want to ruin the moment being the third wheel, and Hot Rod's insistent. So I said, I'm going to come on, and I'm going to sing you guys the weekly song. So if you want to catch that, come check out Comic Book Memories this Saturday. Everybody knows what time it is. And, yeah, man, we're going to have a lot of fun. So,
Oh, yeah.
Tucker, have you watched the comic book? Well, you're usually working, aren't you?
I'm usually working, but I would always I still leave it on my phone.
I just like that's cool about this weekend. I just love that. Mike and I have talked about it.
Yeah.
I just love that show. I love those guys to death.
Mhm.
They're just such a it's such a relaxing show to be on.
Yeah.
Nobody's jumping over each other, and it's just showing a shit ton of comic books. It's what to me is what a comic book show should be.
Yeah.
You're showing books, you're having a good conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you, brother, for showing up tonight.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, like I said, we're gonna maybe once or twice a month have somebody on with us and kind of give other inputs and different. It's a show about stuff, so it's not just one thing. We're going to talk about everything else too, So,
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
but all right.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, chat, and we will see everybody next Tuesday, same time, same channel. And thanks again, once again, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, later.